That's control, that's selfishness, that's entitlement. This woman is a monster.
Blake Lively is facing the most severe public backlash of her career, as audiences deliver a reality check she never anticipated.
You're a liar. You misrepresent who you are.
She may think she can outsmart the public, but her tactics are now fully exposed, and people are no longer falling for her calculated behavior.
Opinion, they've lost.
Both Hollywood insiders and fans are distancing themselves from her as if it's the final curtain call, and her follower count is dropping at a pace never seen before.
Note the consequence has been terrible for Blake and Ryan in terms of people.
Blake Lively has become one of the most criticized figures in the industry, and many believe she is responsible for her own downfall. Once adored and admired, she has now lost favor, while Justin Baldoni, the man she allegedly tried to undermine, is gaining overwhelming support.
What are you talking about? She genuinely is not aware of how insane she is.
At this stage, her public image is collapsing, and social media users are dissecting her every move. But the moment that truly exposed her downward spiral was the Hollywood Reporter cover released on February 22nd. What was intended to be a standard feature quickly turned into a viral controversy.
So she puts in here that you're just like, why would you want to take over someone's movie? The outfits in this end are so out of touch. No, we don't want to watch bullies like.
The photo of her aiming a slingshot at Justin Baldoni struck a nerve because it mirrored the very tactics she was accused of using against him. However, the move backfired dramatically, and now she is the one facing relentless criticism. She can continue to claim innocence, but the numbers and reactions tell a different story.
And that's crazy. And this is a reason why I think in the future people are just not going to work with her, because it's starting to add up. People are realizing that this is a pathology.
The reality is simple. Hollywood can shape narratives, but the audience ultimately decides the outcome. And right now, Blake Lively is being torn apart across digital platforms. Since September, she has lost approximately 864,000 followers, while Justin Baldoni has gained over 23.8 million, marking her sharpest decline in 5 years.
Lively may think they have the upper hand. Sources say she has no idea what's coming regarding her battle with Justin Baldoni.
In comparison, Justin Baldoni's numbers are climbing. He gained 159,500 followers in the same period. And February only intensified the divide. Blake lost another 363,930 followers, while Baldoni added 19,623,065 to his count.
Last 30 days, she has lost 397,000 subscribers, okay? That is not a small amount. If you similarly go over to Ryan Reynolds, he's lost almost the same amount, 1,000 more than her, 398,000 subscribers.
Before Baldoni filed his lawsuit, many people were still convinced by her narrative. The public genuinely believed her version of events. But once Baldoni presented concrete evidence, the tide shifted almost instantly.
We weighed against Justin Baldoni. Look at his statistics. Over the last 30 days, he has received 206, or you could almost say 207,000 additional followers.
Industry observers even took notice. Mark Porter, CEO of QR Code Generator Pro, commented on the rapid change in sentiment after Baldoni came forward with proof. Audiences quickly realized this wasn't a feminist movement or a #MeToo situation. It was Blake Lively using power and manipulation when things didn't go her way.
The version of this for Justin Baldoni was just Michael Scott in The Office, where he's just saying inappropriate things, but not with any ill will. But Blake Lively, much more different culturally, more about the power and thinking that this is about the feminist Me Too movement. And how dare you do.
Mark Porter reiterated how swiftly public perception flipped against her once Baldoni defended himself. People began paying closer attention and saw through the carefully crafted image. It became clear this wasn't about justice, it was about control.
I found that incredibly telling. Hidden in a little footnote, her protection that, well, you know, they were. I was told they were lawfully obtained. Yikes. Big yikes.
If fans have walked away, Hollywood has gone a step further. Within the industry, nothing is tolerated less than an actor who creates chaos behind the scenes, and Blake Lively is now being labeled exactly that.
Will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have, because the truth should be.
The troubling part is that she wasn't even directing It Ends With Us. Despite not being the filmmaker, she allegedly pushed through script changes, overruled the director, and took over the production as if she owned the project.
Showing a little ankle, but not the whole leg, if you know what I mean. I'm sure she wouldn't approve of that reference. Too sexist.
Even more shocking, she had no formal authority to make those decisions. As an actress and executive producer, her role was limited, yet she reportedly acted as though the entire production revolved around her.
Control, that's selfishness, that's entitlement. This woman is a monster.
This behavior created a culture of fear. Crew members and co-stars were allegedly hesitant to speak out, knowing that falling out of favor with Blake could damage their careers. She crafted a sweetheart persona for years, but insiders now describe her as controlling and intimidating.
She's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud. She's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd.
And it isn't just production staff taking a step back. Other Hollywood names are distancing themselves as well. Reports claim Jenny Slate and others were pressured to support a false narrative, but her PR strategy is collapsing as colleagues quietly disengage. The Hollywood Reporter cover became the breaking point, revealing how she was seen, not as the victim, but the aggressor, and her attempts to label it sexist fell flat.
He sexual harassed her, and then by the time they premiered the movie, they weren't even speaking to each other. She made him stay in the basement, and Ryan Reynolds turned on him too. And then she claimed that he unleashed a bad PR campaign against.
That's when the industry fully turned its back. Not because of ethics, but because Hollywood protects power, not problems. And right now, Blake Lively is viewed as a liability that studios don't want to manage.
Anonymous, they're terrified of threats and bullying. It's a very neutral and interesting.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake may continue pushing PR strategies, but insiders say it's too late. The damage is irreversible. She's not just losing fan support, she's losing Hollywood itself. Studios won't risk hiring someone known for overpowering productions and reacting poorly when challenged.
Now the Hollywood Reporter has seemingly outed the two actresses' names. They're pretty much being bullied to respond.
Blake had it all: a successful career, a well-connected husband, powerful industry allies, and consistent PR backing. But her growing arrogance convinced her she could dictate everything. Now, that mindset is costing her everything she built.
Was too huggy or whatever the heck, or said she was sexy. None of this warrants this. And you still have to atone for what you did.
Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni is emerging from the situation with a spotless public image. The contrast couldn't be sharper. While Blake is spiraling and facing backlash, Baldoni is seen living peacefully, vacationing in Hawaii, surfing, and staying unbothered. Her downfall is becoming increasingly visible, and many note the irony in how her attempt to appear as the victim has completely unraveled.
You go in there and you're like, yeah, I'd like to be an actor, and then you take over everything. I mean, just imagine taking this out of the context of celebrities, and you call a plumber to come fix your...
The Hollywood Reporter cover on February 22nd triggered a massive reaction. The illustration of her launching a slingshot at Baldoni reflected exactly what she was accused of trying to do. Rather than address her actions, she defaulted to claiming sexism, an argument the public largely rejected.
Blake, allegedly, according to these sources, and there's a lot of stuff in here, whole piece was worth a read. Now, Blake has shared with friends, allegedly, that she considers this a fight that's...
The online backlash was immediate. Social media users criticized her for reacting dramatically to a cartoon. This is the same person often promoting strength and feminism, yet she unraveled over an illustration. The article behind the cover dug even deeper, highlighting that Baldoni's Baha faith shaped his conduct and that cultural differences were twisted into accusations. What was innocent was turned into scandal, and now she's facing the consequences.
These pieces, because hear me out, here it is. So, from the outset, the feud's been framed as the newest chapter in Hollywood's ongoing fight for gender equality.
If Blake expected to win the legal fight, she underestimated Baldoni's response. The moment he defended himself, her case started falling apart. The most damaging revelation involved attempts to remove key text messages from her filings to strengthen her claims. But Baldoni retained everything, and now those omissions are exposed. Legal experts are dissecting her case, pointing out contradictions and strategic edits. She tried to rewrite reality and is now being publicly called out for deception.